All right, here we go. Anthropic research, which jobs are at risk of AI? We are looking at a young woman, presumably not AI, talking with a graph in front of her face. You see it of some kind. She's about to tell us why to be afraid. All right, let's watch. And action.
Anthropic just released new research on which jobs AI is actually replacing and which ones it could replace in theory.
Okay, hold on. Now, I know the point of this is that she's going to talk about which jobs AI is going to replace, and I'm supposed to be reacting to that. But I also just want to react to this is the exact formula of a video that will get engagement on these apps. Let me break it down, okay? Let's just be so real and straightforward with each other. Starts with an attractive looking person on the screen. That is something that most people don't have within their control. But with AI today, you do actually have that within your control. Second thing, the hook. The hook is fear. I was messing with ChatGPT this morning, working on some things, and it kept telling me if you want to make your subject matter better, if you want to make your headlines better, you need to match fear and opportunity. This person, this host, obviously understands that formula. If you want to hook people, you don't hook them with, this is something that should make you so excited and happy about the future. You hook them with, this is why the future is doom and gloom unless you do this one little thing. And so I just want to go a little zoom out here, which is that this person is presenting herself as, someone who is about to deliver information to us. And of course she is, but everything, like I say, on these apps is in fact an ad. And what she is offering us here is also an ad of some kind. I know that because I went back to her page and I clicked her link tree and it says she is a venture capitalist among many other things, each of which are opportunities for us to in some way give her value or give us our money, give her our money. Which all is to say, she is presenting this information in the formula that you want to use for a strong ad on these apps. Now let's see what she actually has to say.
They introduced this metric called observed exposure, which in the chart you can see the blue.
Now hold on. She's also doing something that people do as a trick on the on in their content, which is she is showing us some pretty elaborate and sophisticated images that have like a lot of words, lines, dots on them. And she's going through them so quickly that you could not possibly read what she puts on the screen in the amount of time that she puts it on the screen. That is meant to have two effects, and they work. The first one is it is meant to deliver some form of authority. Like, look, I have graphs and numbers, and even though they're mostly not sourced or not in a way that you can actually read while you're watching them, I have them, I'm showing them to you. So I did the hard part for you. I'm compressing this information. Now, the irony here, obviously, is that, again, presumably a human being is doing this for us on the screen in this, but AI could do what she's doing 20,000 times faster than even she's doing it. The same, like the service she's offering us here is I've done the hard homework of reading through everything and offering it to you right here. But I bet somewhere in her process, she actually just had AI do that homework for her, and now she's delivering it to us. The irony, again, of course, is that this is a video about how AI is going to replace white-collar jobs. It's more than, it is highly likely that AI could replace the thing that even she is doing in this video.
Showing what AI could theoretically handle, and the red area showing what it's actually.
Oh, and the second reason why you show the information so fast like that is because it gets somebody to watch it twice or 3 times or 4 times or pause it. All those things that are good for your views and engagement, all those things will get you, they'll get you prioritized on the algorithm. Also, Instagram's CEO, who just went on Armchair Expert, where I have a fantastic podcast called Yearbook, he is giving talks, and he has also published information about where we're at with Instagram today. And one of the things he says is that straight to camera, you know, the videos like the ones I do on Instagram, like she's doing right here, where the host is just talking straight to the camera, those are the highest performance videos today. Those are the ones that the smart creators are all bending toward. I think because people want this handheld, tailored version of the internet where you feel like you have your own personal host through life and through industry and through whatever it is that you're working on. And that's what she's offering us again here, presumably, like I said, as a human. Now, if this is a famous person, her name is Zoe Talks. I saw that she has, or Zowie, or however you pronounce it. She, and no disrespect, she's got 200,000 followers on Instagram. If this is someone I'm supposed to know, I don't know because I don't know anybody. I don't know creators. But whether she does or doesn't, if she is in fact AI and there's someone behind her controlling 10 different versions of avatars that they think will work on the internet, what an even deeper irony that would be to what we're about to hear. Here we go.
Handling today. For example, in computer and math jobs, AI could theoretically handle about 94% of tasks.
Big graph, lots of words, lots of percentages, bars, numbers. She's breaking it down for us. But again, it's like, come on, man, we can't read that. We know that the point of why you're showing us that is so that we will just trust whatever are the words coming out of your mouth. Here we go.
But Claude is currently only covering about 33% of those in practice. Similar story for office and admin roles, with about 90% of tasks theoretically automatable, but actual usage today just a fraction of that. So it's pretty clear that AI adoption is—
Wait. You just showed us a graph that has like 20 different lines on it, 20 different headings on it, numbers, percentages. You said words that I couldn't retain because they were going by so fast with this graph behind them. And then the next thing you say is, so it's pretty clear, but I am going to follow because look, this is how trust works. I guess I'll just follow.
Still very much so in its early days. And if you look at the top 10 most exposed occupations—
How can we look at that? How can we look at that, Zoe?
Based off of this observed exposure metric, the number one is computer programmers with about 74.
All right, computer programmers are about to get replaced by AI. That's what I'm being told. I remember 10 years ago, maybe over that at this point, I had left Google, where the software engineer was king, right? Those were the people we thought of as like magicians, damn near. Like, oh my God, we got to find all the best software engineers. I then went to a tech startup which had as its entire business model training people to be software engineers so we could usher them into the tech industry and get a fee on both ends, a fee to train them and then a percentage of their income once they got into the industry. And I remember then people telling me, smart people, this is why I have felt blessed and grateful to have a network of people across industries that can give me perspective on the industries I'm working in. Like I talk, for instance, about how my friends in business and in tech reminded me, hey, don't forget to build your own distribution while you're working through Hollywood, because Hollywood is going to bottleneck that and charge you for it. So my friends who were outside of the tech industry, when I was in that business that was teaching people how to be software engineers, they would always say software engineers are at a premium today, but soon the technology will catch up to a place where someone who knows how to build a website is basically worthless, valueless, because you'll be able to get a website built by an app. You'll be able to get a website built by Squarespace with AI embedded in it. And I was like, I don't know, I guess, like, aren't we still going to need somebody to like clickety clackety clackety clackety? And their answer was no. And lo and behold, here we are today. The number one job that's about to be replaced by AI is computer programmers.
4.5% exposure, and that tracks of everything we're seeing around AI coding right now. Then you have customer service reps at 70%, data entry workers 67%, medical record specialists 66%, and you can read through the rest of the list, but you even have financial and investment analysts up there at 57%. One of the pretty clear—
Okay, she just listed a bunch of jobs that unless you work those jobs, you probably actually don't care that those jobs are going away. I'm being real with you. Like you might care in some meta way about the larger phenomenon here, which is bad that these are jobs that are going away. But like, for instance, you probably don't care if a researcher at a big company whose product you use is replaced by AI, because you will probably not even know that that happened. In fact, the way that you might know that happened is because the outcome you're seeking while working with that company might happen better and faster, because a computer model that works 200 billion times faster than that researcher makes the thing that you want happen faster and better than that person ever could. Which is to say, I believe that beyond the fact that white collar jobs are more exposed to AI because they don't require human manpower, labor, execution, turning dials, picking things up. They're more exposed to replacement because of the skills that they are, but they're also more exposed because we will notice them disappear slowly, and we might not care as they disappear in the same way. let's continue.
Themes here is that all of these are knowledge work jobs. They're relatively well paid and they often require higher education. In fact, the most AI exposed group in the study is generally more educated, higher paid, and also 16% more likely to be female, which means that the workers most exposed to AI today are actually the very people who went through higher ed and pursued white collar careers, partly to avoid the kind of automation that hit.
All right, this one's gonna be hard for me to express, but I got to get it off. Okay, she just said something, which is that these jobs, the jobs that are likely to be replaced by AI, the jobs that are exposed to AI replacement are more likely jobs that belong to people who've gone through higher ed, and because of how our country is today, more of those people are women, right? I've had a hard time circling exactly what I'm feeling here, but I want to say it, which is that I have felt a tension between two worlds of mine, right? I have, on the one hand, my creative and art community, which is in some ways intertwined with Hollywood, even though I think Hollywood is mostly a capitalist endeavor, even for the people who get up there and give a speech about my first acting coach and guy. It's like, you would not be in that position if you didn't want to be rich and famous. You don't get rich and famous by acting, by being a great actor. You really don't. But let's say the tension of the people who are purists in the arts, who are like, Chad, no, like, no, AI, no, it's so bad for the arts and our jobs, and that's real. On the other hand, there's a tension. There's a pulling force on the other side, and the tensions within me, which is my friends, my relatives, people from the sort of white collar tech business, the people who think of themselves as like hardcore businessmen, and I do mean men, and they're people who I believe never truly saw value in creativity, never truly saw value in the arts, and in some ways I think felt othered or felt outcast by people who had the arts as a language and as a value. And frankly, like, people in the arts can be like snooty. One of the clips that I decided not to do today was Wesley Morris and Sean Finnessy from The Ringer, right? Who is himself a media capitalist who works with Bill Simmons at The Ringer, which is a huge capitalist enterprise, which has made a fortune by paring down, by building a secondary market on top of other people's art with clips of people talking about art, right? In that clip, Wesley Morris and Sean Finnessy are talking about, like, oh my God, no, AI, movies mean so much to us. And it's like, okay, guys. But this group over here, the capitalists, I'll just call them, the hardcore business capitalists who always kind of felt a little pushed out of the arts by the people within them, I think there's a moment that feels intertwined with sort of the incel, the rise of the nerd, rise of the incel. I'm angry because people treated me like a nerd and treated me like their thing was so cute and I'm an outsider. I have resisted in some ways the business people, the hardcore tech people, the hardcore, like, just look at the bottom line guys in my life who have been pushing me toward AI, because I feel with it the weight of their anger, that this is a moment of revenge for them to crush everything that other people liked with AI, everything that other people liked that made them feel like an outsider, right? This is a moment where now we can crush, those people in our lives who said, even if I don't make as much money of you, I have something in my life that I love, which is worth more. And they're like, no, it wasn't worth more. Money is only worth more. And I feel I can't like dial it in exactly right. I'm trying my best right here. But that anger intertwined with what I think actually are some words of good advice from them, which are, hey, the AI thing's coming. There are these tools that'll help you build faster, help you make money faster with what you're doing, and I have been taking it piecemeal, but the fact that it comes with what feels like a verve and an aggression and an anger and almost like a conquering spirit in a way that I don't like, makes me feel uncomfortable to take it all together. And so when she says women are most exposed to this phenomenon of replacement, um, that doesn't surprise me because these things feel like this. Okay.
Manufacturing and the trades decades ago. At the same time, it is important to keep in mind a few caveats here. This study combines real Claude usage data with estimates of what AI could theoretically do, so it's not necessarily a perfect prediction of job loss. On top of this, Anthropic says that despite the exposure numbers,
another graph we can't read,
we're not seeing mass unemployment yet. Their researchers actually compared workers in highly AI exposed jobs and workers in AI resistant jobs, and the difference in unemployment since the release of ChatGPT is basically statistically zero. So the feared AI job apocalypse that this report lays out hasn't shown up in the data, at least not yet.
Sorry, it ends so abruptly, which is another tool to get us to watch it again. But okay, I think what she said is, here's the danger of AI to replace us, but it hasn't happened yet. Something like that. And truly, I don't know, and I'm pretty good at like distilling information. I don't know what the point was of what she just said, but that's okay. Somebody will watch it 7 times and they'll get it. But more importantly, I want to say this, which is about the information that's been funneling to us about AI, especially through the conduits that I mentioned, right? Which is it it often, and this is how things happen with big evolutionary moments or big moments of like, fear mongering or a swirl of energy around something that might happen in the near future, is I often find they come with such um imperfect or opaque words of advice on how to apply them. I am an application person, right? Anytime somebody tells me something, somebody will send me like a 10-sentence text, and I will often reply and say, "What do I do with this?" Or what are you saying, right? Because I need directions. If you're telling me to do something, tell me to do it. If you're just giving me the information so I can decide what to do with it, I also want to know that. The warnings and the, prepare yourself for the big explosion. I do understand the like marketing value of those things. They push us towards programs where we are supposed to learn how to execute against this information. But what are the practical applications of what I just heard? I don't know. And I think that's what's giving people such a hard time with this AI evolution is it's like, prepare, get ready, get ready. Well, how do you get ready? The best advice I've probably gotten is from a friend who's in the finance sector, and he's like, just play with the tools. Just play with them. Just play so that when there are practical applications of what to do with them, you'll know how to use them. Like somebody, he said as an example, somebody who tried to pick up a iPhone today who didn't get one 10 years ago is not going to know how in the world to use that thing or what it's capable of. And you don't want to be in that position if a huge opportunity drops from the sky in front of you to use these tools to your advantage. And so that's my advice to you, because I don't want to be the non-application advice giver. But man, this AI stuff is it's fascinating for me, mostly in the way that I see how we all respond societally to the sky is falling moment. Goodbye.